Welcome to part 3 of our series on LinkedIn. Today we're going to talk about third-party applications. Is it something you should be a little careful with or go all out? You're watching Webbeat TV. So I'm still talking to Mike Merrill. This is part 3 of our 3-part series on LinkedIn, I guess you could call it. So there are 2 features that you want to talk about, answers and recommendations.
Yeah, so one of the ways that you're going to get to 100% profile completeness is by getting recommendations. Mm-hmm. And the best recommendations are from former managers or managers of managers. So if you can get a recommendation from the CEO, even better. But I advise people don't accept recommendations from peers or people that work for you. It just provides no value to your LinkedIn profile. Now, a supplier or an agency that you worked with on a daily basis or a partner, that can help, but definitely don't let it be peers or people that are on an equal footing in terms of pay grade or title. Because just, people
just don't bother at all with those.
They don't really provide any value unless you if you really just want to get to 100%, but any recruiter can see right through it.
Okay, that makes sense.
And the second is answers. So there's a whole section of LinkedIn called Q&A or answers where I can go out and ask questions and it's open to everyone, not just my network. So for example, I could say, what's the best third-party application for integrating Twitter into my website? Mm-hmm. Right, and people will go on there and they'll answer questions, right? Because they'll be scrolling through these looking for something that they can provide insight in. So say, for example, he asks a question and he says it's going to be open for a week. He can rate the best answer.
Okay. And
that person gets a little star next to their profile as having expertise in, say, marketing.
That's interesting.
So what happens...
Like Quora, but on LinkedIn?
Well, it's almost like badges, right? Because I'm getting this badge that I'm a marketing expert in the answer section. And when they scroll the answer section, they can scroll through and see all the people that are seen as experts in there.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
It's a way to connect. A lot of times the people that ask the questions will connect with people there too.
So that's something a lot of people do actually watch?
No, I think it's completely underutilized. I advise people at least take a glance at it and see if there's questions they can answer on once a week.
Yeah, okay. So something else to look at. Now let's talk about third-party applications. There's so many out there.
There is. So, and a lot of people aren't even familiar with the fact that they can add these to their LinkedIn profiles. So the first one is events. So for example, if I set up events on LinkedIn, I may want to showcase those on my profile, right? So, in my example, I run the social media club.
Right.
So I would showcase those on my profile so people would see them. In another case, say you're part of a professional networking group or you're part of a nonprofit that hosts events and that event is on LinkedIn, you can show that on your profile so people will see it. So you can attract people to that event, right? It's similar to advertising. That one's fairly used. Polls, so for example, you can ask people polls via the status update.
Okay.
It's a third-party application, and you can actually collect great consumer information. And today, this is free. So free tools. So I could go out and ask, if I was going to create an email tool, how important is it I could, blind carbon copy, for example, and people could rate it. So it gives you product feedback or other
for a business, it might be interesting as well.
Yeah. Or a product launch, or even nonprofit. If we charged $20 to see some artist and that was all donated to nonprofit, would you see value in that? Right, kind of open into question, but you really want to use the data to Pareto it out, right?
Yes.
So those are 2 that are well known. The other one is you can embed your blog. Right, all of us as bloggers are trying to attract more attention to our thought leadership on our blog. Right. And you can feature that prominently on your profile. So when someone does a search, they land on there, they can actually click through and see your blog. So it works with WordPress, Blogger, and other, I think even Typepad, other blogging sites.
That's great. So what other third-party applications do we have?
The last one, I think, there's a ton of apps, but the last one I'd showcase is SlideShare. So SlideShare is a very popular site for uploading presentations or ebooks. You can actually feature a SlideShare or 2 in your profile, right? So it could be even, if you're a small business or a business, you could feature a small presentation or a short presentation about your business. And
would this be a link in your profile?
It's actually a visual. There's a section called SlideShare, and it'll show the 3 SlideShare presentation. It's very compelling, and then you can attract more people to that premium content you have on SlideShare.
Great. Well, I think we're almost at the end of part 3 of our series here. But what would you say is, what would you recommend anyone watching to do next to improve their LinkedIn profile?
Well, I think it's very similar to what we started on in the first series. One is just complete your profile, fill it out, add all of your connections, and start connecting to people. So now I'm somewhat of a geek when it comes to networking.
Right.
I will connect to people the same day I meet them. I'm very diligent about doing that. And I also make a note where I met them.
Yeah.
So that I close that loop and I follow up with any other information I need to.
Oh, that's great.
So that's the big thing, is fill out your profile and add your connections.
All right. Well, I think that's it. So thank you very much for talking to us about LinkedIn. See, I learned a lot, and I think you guys probably did as well. Where can people find you online?
You can find me at MikeMerrill.com, as well as Twitter, Mike D Merrill, and of course, if you're on LinkedIn, send me a connection request.
Of course, now you can. Now you know how to do it. All right, thank you. And thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to follow us as well at WetBTV or at Pulpina. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, like this video. All right, thanks guys. Doei.
Quiet on the set, and we'll be on in 3, 2.
Hey, leuk dat je kijkt naar WebPTV. Dit is een Nederlandse uitzending. Vandaag praat ik met Mike Merrill, de president van de Dallas Social Media Club, over LinkedIn. Did you just understand what I just said?
That is accurate. I do prefer the machete over the axe.
Dit is WebPTV.
Sorry, I couldn't maintain my composure.
That was awesome. Woo, I liked it.